Alright, so we got a giant box on the desk today here from a company called FMS. This is something I picked up on at AliExpress during their back to school sale, and I'll show it to you here in a second, but I got a really good deal on it. I'll talk about what I paid for it as I unbox this. And this is something that's already been reviewed quite a bit. It's been out for a couple years now, I think. Lots of mods and stuff you can do with this. This is a really nice vehicle. I have a very specific purpose for this, the reason I got this, and I'll talk about that as well after I get it out of the box. So let's get everything out of the box. So here's the manual right on top of the box there. So this is what it is, the 1/6 scale Jimny. It's a Jeep, I think it's a Suzuki scale model. So I got rid of the outer box there, and this all FMS stuff comes in like a foam box, and this is just the outer cardboard, just showing you what it looks like. This is super scale. That's another reason why I got it. Let's go ahead and get this out of the box here. Box within a box. Yeah, so this comes in a nice foam storage box. I mean, the storage box itself is probably as much as I paid for this thing, and very well protected. It came on the slow boat from China. Yeah, this I saw a sticker on the outer box that said it was manufactured in September of 2023. So this has been sitting on a shelf for a while. I'm not sure if they're discontinuing this model or what. I think the best price I see this now is like around $150 or so. When this originally came out, it was like $300, so pretty expensive. But looks like it's mostly assembled. Yeah, this is like super nice. Got like these rubber seats here. You can see it's kind of moving. The steering wheel actually moves when you steer, and you got this like nice windshield in the front here. It's gonna be like some mirrors and stuff, I think. They're in this bag. You got this roll bar. Yeah, got a little tire there, spare tire in the back. Here's the remote. So in terms of rock crawlers, this is nothing to write home about. There's plenty of rock crawlers out there that are probably better than this one. But and you can probably mod this. I saw a lot of mods where you can make this to a really capable rock crawler. I'm just getting this for the scale detail, and I'll get into the reason why after I get this out of the foam box. Alright, so there's a few things you can put on there, like there's some mirrors, and I don't think I'm going to put those on. And there's a roll bar. I might put that on at some point later. The reason I got this is because as you know, I'm trying to do the review of the Caddx GM3 gimbal. It's like a 3-axis stabilizing gimbal, and it has head tracking, which I still haven't gotten to work yet. Still working on that. You'll see that eventually worked out in a future video, hopefully. I have an idea of what's wrong, but I think the reason is pretty dumb. You'll see in that video later. But the goal here is to create some sort of a mount here. I'm going to put it where basically you would imagine you would be sitting inside this vehicle. So have the camera somewhere like around this area. So I'm going to have to figure out some way to mount it to the seat here, which I think there's a little bar here, and it's kind of hollow inside, so I'll have to figure out some way of clamping it onto here. But this is very realistic. And so, you know, the idea is like, if you imagine a person being here, they could be looking around, they could look down at the seat next to them, or at the steering wheel, the dash, and of course the surroundings in front of them. And I think that would make a pretty cool video. Normally I wouldn't have gotten this because, you know, like I said, it's like right now prices are about $150 for this. For this project, I wouldn't have bothered even spending that much. I would have just done something else. But you know, it was a lot of like during that back to school sale, this popped up. I think this particular store, this is their last one, and I used some coupons, and I got it for like under $80, which is ridiculously cheap. So I was like, oh, okay, that's just too cheap. I can't pass it up. So I went and just bought it, and it's super nice. If you want to see like better reviews of this one, there's lots of videos on this model. Just search for FMS Jimny. You'll see crap loads of reviews. You know, if you look at the One of the biggest mods that people make here on the underside of the chassis is, like you see here, these have real leaf springs. You know, it's like very realistic. It's super scale. But one of the mods you can do is you could reverse where the axle goes, instead of being on top of the spring, you put it underneath it. That would basically raise up the Jeep, and then you could swap out the wheels for something like bigger, for real actual real rock crawling wheels. You could do that. I've seen, you know, again, there's tons of videos out there already, so I'm not going to be doing that. Obviously, I'm going to keep this exactly stock here. Obviously, I'm going to put that camera in there so that, you know, we could do some FPV with the stabilized footage. But I mean, look at the detail, even in the dash. I mean, this is just incredible. And then you see the clutch, the brake, and the accelerator down there, as well as the shifter. They have, actually, there's two shifters. I'm not sure why. This is and there's the emergency brake. Yeah, very scale. Obviously, like the bottom shouldn't be like this. I think a lot of people paint this black, but to do that requires taking the entire thing apart, which I am not going to do. And then there's a bunch of accessories that you can put in the back here. I believe the tailgate will come down as well. The spare wheel, or the spare tire, is mounted to the back here. There's a mount you have to attach here, and then you mount this to that. And this is actually, it's a real spare. I mean, yeah, for rock crawling, these aren't the greatest. You know, these aren't the greatest. They're too skinny. They're not flexible enough. This is not really for rock crawling. For gravel and stuff, it'll be fine. Got lights back here. I'll show you that to you later in the video. This is actually really heavy. Surprisingly heavy. I mean, I know this is like mostly plastic. Yeah, it's almost all plastic, I think. Yeah, you got some stuff here on the windshield. You got your wipers. I mean, super nice. And then this is rubber here, so this goes down. And then you got a little rear view mirror here. Nice. And then to get to the motor and the battery, let's peel this sticker off here. Yeah, so it looks like it just latches here. And we've got looks like a 500 or 550 sized brushed motor, and I think that servo here is, whoops, I think that servo there is axle mount. It's pretty big. An XT60 for the battery, and this version was the one that did not come with the battery. I think that's another reason why it was cheaper. And it looks like they're using a combination ESC and receiver from the looks of it. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see. Looks like it's a combination ESC receiver, but it's not. There's a ESC here, and then right behind here is where all these wires go into. There's a tiny receiver. So for FPV, if the range is not sufficient, I might swap this out for an Express LRS receiver and use my Radiomaster MT12. In terms of batteries, I think it uses like 2S or 3S batteries, so I'll give those a try. Alright, let me show you some footage of it rolling around with some lights and all this. Let's see what it looks like before I FPV this thing.